Brittany Venti's last stream was bad. It was a dud, a real stinker. You'd think after such a long hiatus, a sabbatical, a faux retirement, she'd return to streaming with more form, with more to say, with new material, but instead she's bringing out this tired old bit, the goth bit from like 10 years ago. Like, tell me, why was the first, 20 minutes of the stream her doing this really bad, like, post-ironic goth LARP satire, I guess if you wanna call it that. She couldn't even be bothered to dress up for it. At least the last time she did the goth bit, she dressed up with, like, the choker and everything. Like, throughout this entire stream, Brittany sounded like she was on horse tranquilizers. The only time she perked up during the whole 3-hour stream was during her little PowerPoint presentation about curly hair that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about the curly hair thing. And it's like this long-winded, like, rambling presentation, all basically just to say that Brittany's glad that curly-haired girls are getting representation. Like, she could have just said that. Like, but no, 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 no. She couldn't just say, like, oh, I'm glad that people like myself are getting represented with curly hair. Because, you know why? Because, oh, that sounds too woke, right? Oh, what an actually bad stream. This was like an actually bad stream. The only interesting part in this entire stream, Brittany was directly responding to a TikTok that was criticizing her. Okay, so like she's actually responding to criticism for once. It was interesting and it was entertaining and it was engaging. But then it gets undercut because Brittany basically, she watched the TikTok and was basically just like, well, I can't say what I really want to say, so I'm just not going to say anything. Oh, you mean you can't say a bunch of slurs? You can't be a raging bigot and say a bunch of slurs at this woman, so you're just not gonna say anything? So not only are you a bigot, but you're a low IQ bigot, so you can't even, like, phrase and frame things in a way that's not gonna get you instantly banned? I'm looking forward to the kick stream in so much as I think we're finally gonna see Brittany go full throttle. But I wouldn't be surprised if after Brittany's first full inaugural stream on Kick, they kick her off because Brittany just takes it too far. I would grade this stream as like, I would give it like a C minus only because she sounds like she's perpetually out of breath, like she's on a treadmill. Like she's like, did Brittany take her own advice and she's doing it from a treadmill? Because she sounded like the whole stream, it sounded like she was just constantly out of breath, like she was half asleep on like horse trank or something. And then we get to the Candy Owens bit, the Candy Owens stuff. And it's like, and Brittany didn't do her own research. Instead, we're watching a fucking a fucking tree of logic video where, Tree is just yelling about how much she hates Candace because of her own personal grievances. We're watching a video with a biased perspective. And the reason why Brittany was watching the Tree video, she's like, well, I don't really know all the details and nuances of this complex story of Candace Owens dreaming about Charlie Kirk. And so instead of going down the rabbit hole herself and picking up the breadcrumbs herself, we're doing it via Tree. We're watching Tree's video, and Tree doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. Tree says in the video that she's not even fully researched all this. So it's like, why the hell are we watching you then? You have a biased perspective. You're not fully up to date or informed on all the nuances of the story. And she's just, all Tree said is like, oh, she thinks when Erica Kirk and Candace Owens met, there was lawyers involved. Yeah, everyone knows that. I'm pretty sure Nick Fuentes already said that. And Brittany's like not even adding. Her commentary is just very like uninteresting. And like she comments about how Candace Owens is wearing white, and that's a subliminal message about surrender. It's like, anybody with any common sense can pick up on that, Brittany. This is your commentary. This is all you have to say about the Candace Owens Erica Kirk situation. I mean, Brittany and I seem to pretty much be in agreement on it. Like I don't really believe anything Candace is saying. I think Candace is clearly just trying to like milk the conspiracy bros and get in. She's trying to pick up Alex Jones's mantle. So it's entertaining, like all the chaos that Candace is causing in the infighting and the drama is delicious. That being said, I don't really believe any of it. And that being said, I also think Erica Kirk is acting weird. But I would have liked to see, like, what I would want is for Brittany to go down the rabbit hole. Like, one of my favorite streams Brittany ever did was one where she went down this TikTok rabbit hole of this woman who was on TikTok, and she was, like, saying how she could, like, talk to ghosts and was married to the ghost of Michael Jackson. Brittany spent hours on that stream going down that woman's TikTok rabbit hole. In fact, Brittany even saved a bunch of the TikToks, which was, like, amazing because as soon as she did that stream, the woman's TikTok account was gone. Brittany literally was like internet historian and saved that lady's TikToks. So I would give this stream, I'd give her a C minus. At least she covered the Caniso and stuff in some capacity. There's so much stuff she could talk about that's interesting and engaging and people want to hear, but instead she's doing a bit from 10 years ago, a bit that's just old enough for Jeffrey Epstein, right? Bro, why in the year 2026 are we talking about goth girl aesthetic and how, oh, goth girls get extra points? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are we talking about? Are you a teenager? And it's so obvious that Brittany low-key likes the goth girl aesthetic. She's just too hipster to do it herself because she's like, well, everyone else is doing it and I need to be different and I can't be like those other goth girls. So I'm going to be the post-ironic meta goth girl. Like, shut the fuck up. Wait, why don't you make some money and go to fucking Burberry and dress like a fucking adult? How about that? Britney's quality of life would be exponentially better if she had never got the internet, or at the very least did not get the internet at such a young age, because it clearly deeply scarred her permanently for life because she is so deeply insecure. I mean, lady, you're gonna be 30 years old pretty soon and you're insecure because some girls put on a goth aesthetic and people like it and think it's cute, and this is triggering you and upsetting you and cutting you so deep that you need to do a 20-minute post-ironic bit about it on your stream, and you sound like the quartering on horse trank?